Hannah, what would you say to a student who was asking how they would go about applying for the BPTC?
What I would say is that all applications have to be made via the Bar Standards Board's online application system, BPTC Online. So no applications can be made via post or email. Everything is made through the online system.
Are there particular time constraints to the application process?
Yes, the full timetable setting out the applications process can be found on the Bar Standards Board's website, but generally speaking, applications would need to be made either in late October or early November, and then the first round of applications closes in January. So for example, this year the system opens on the 18th of October and then it closes on the 13th of January of next year.
I know that you sometimes have questions about INS membership. What advice would you give students in relation to that?
The advice that I would give is that all students have to be a member of one of the 4 Inns of Court prior to being able to be enrolled as a BPTC student. And the other thing that I would add is that applications should be made no later than the 31st of May of the academic year in which the student wishes to start the BPTC. We're often asked which inn a student should join, and essentially this is a matter of personal choice for the individual student, and it may be worth looking at the website. All inns have a website, or speaking to the student officer at the inn in order to find out more information about what the inn offers.
In relation to the INS membership, is there any sort of scholarship or funding available for students undertaking the BPTC?
Yes, the inns do offer scholarship awards, and applications for these usually be made in the November of the year before which the student intends to apply for the BPTC.
And do the different inns offer different scholarships? Is it worthwhile the students exploring what's available?
Yes, it is, and full details of the scholarships offered are available on the inn's website, so it most certainly is worth them having a look at what's available.
I think you often receive questions in relation to the English language requirement that the Bar Standards Board has for the course. What advice would you give to a student?
The current position as set out by the Bar Standards Board is that for all students for whom English or Welsh is not their first language, they're required to demonstrate that they have attained a level of 7.5 in all elements of the academic IELTS test, or alternatively that they've achieved a score of 28 in all elements of the TOEFL test. This position is subject to change, and I would advise all students to regularly consult the Bar Standards Board's website to find out what the most up-to-date position is, and similarly in relation to the aptitude test to consult the website to find out what's happening in relation to that.
If a student were to ask you how they could improve their chances in relation to the completion of the application form and what sort of information that you're looking for when you're considering their applications, what advice would you give about that?
I think in the first instance I would say, and it sounds very basic, but I would advise all students to properly proofread and check their application form and make sure that it's expressed clearly and that there aren't errors of grammar, spelling or punctuation, and that it's as accurate as it can be. Once that's done, in relation to the actual content of the form, I would advise that all students read clearly what is expected of them, because I read some forms which don't cover what is required by the form and are the student's interpretation of it rather than the actual requirement. In general terms, the form will look for evidence of many pupilages or other bar-related experience. So it's important to set out what experience the student has and what they've learned from the experience that they've sort of undertaken. So it goes therefore to say that they should have undertaken the experience. So before application stage, doing many pupilages and other bar-related experience is crucial. In addition, the form requires a demonstration of advocacy experience, so it's important that students get involved with mooting and other public speaking opportunities so that those can also be included on the form. So it's important to be specific, it's important to provide evidence of what the student says he or she has done, and it's important to make sure the question is addressed properly and thoroughly. There is a requirement for references. Currently the requirement is that there are 2 references required, and I would advise that a minimum of 1, preferably 2, but a minimum of 1 of those referees is an academic referee who can specifically confirm the predicted or actual grade that the degree classification that the student has indicated.